All right, it's time to talk about the transfer drawing. So I've prepared a little bit of squiggles, and this is just a sheet of baking paper, parchment paper, whatever you want to call it. There's a paper called transferring paper actually sold in the art stores. I have a huge roll of it in the cabinet over there, but yeah, I don't want to cut a small piece for the demo's sake. So you can actually just use this kind of kitchen parchment paper as well. As you can see very clearly through it. It doesn't really absorb oil or charcoal or pencil, so this will do fine. All right, so why would we make a transfer drawing? You might have something very elaborate, like a portrait, for example, that you want to transfer, and you don't want to just kind of mess around until you find the correct proportions and everything, especially in mediums like charcoal, where you'll stain the white of the paper if you move things around a lot. Pencil, you can do it carefully without staining the paper, but charcoal can sometimes be a little bit more unforgiving like that. Another example would be if you want to work in pencil, for example, but then continue in oil paint. Same reasons apply here. You want to use a more controlled medium to sort of find the drawing first and then transfer that, and then you can proceed from there. And yeah, you can do the transfer in either just pencil, which I will show you. You can also use charcoal or oil paint actually for transferring this drawing, so I'll just show you in a moment. Another reason why you might want to do a transfer would be if you have smaller studies, say, a figure in landscape, and you don't want to draw it a million times the same thing over and over. I mean, that might also benefit you. You might come up with new ideas, but let's say you have the composition and everything locked down. You want to just use whatever reference you have and not change a thing. You can prepare a small drawing like this, and then you can just make the transfer sort of trace of that. And then you can transfer it 10 times if you want, and you can then iterate on the colors and everything. So if you want to nudge the mood, for example, to a green harmony or orange harmony, or make it monochromatic and purple, you can see what happens. That is, if you don't like working digitally, this is the traditional way to do it. Digital is probably the more convenient way to do it these days, and the more time efficient and material efficient way, but I do respect people who want to do it traditionally. I do myself sometimes enjoy that process as well. All right, so the transfer itself, what you want to have is a different color pen, or colored pencil or something like this, where I have a red pen. You then you want to first secure the paper to your whatever surface so that it doesn't move around when you do this. Because of course, if it moves around, that will sort of mess up the alignment. You want to have the transfer sheet in a sort of hinge attachment kind of thing with the tape here, so it falls into the same place regardless of if it moves around a little bit. And then you want to, of course, secure it in a position that is fairly tight, so you can actually just work on it. Okay, it seems my tape came a little loose here. Maybe the downside of this parchment paper is that it's a little bit slick, so it might actually not attach to the paper very well when you tape it down. You can work around that, as you'll see. So you want to be transferring in small, solid, straight lines. I would say that's the most probably efficient way, rather than to try to match very closely all of the curves that you're seeing, since you're always going to lose a bit of information in the transferring process. Even if you take the most time and pain to just get it exactly bang on right, you'll still end up with something a little bit more messy. Things will move around half a millimeter here or there. Sometimes in this academic way of working, it can actually make a pretty big difference. I always use the eye as an example, but you can just tell if the eye is half a millimeter up, or the nose is a millimeter too long or something like this. It kind of changes the whole look a lot. So, and that's what makes it very difficult, and that's also why this process is very useful. And but that's to say that we still want to actually check the drawing after transferring. this is not a perfect method. Okay, now we have made this red drawing on here. Actually, my pen seems to be a little bit dry, so it's not the most vivid, but you can tell there is a red kind of mark over there. Well, after this you would fold it up or even remove it. Well, you can remove it actually. But in this case we'll just do it this way. Yeah, so I'll just color these lines in slightly. You don't actually have to be very specific here. You just want to get something that you can push against the paper at the next stage, which is the actual transferring portion. Okay, so let's say we copied all of that squiggle over there, and now we can just put it on our paper. Okay, we want to be very careful with the positioning. You want to make sure you're transferring it, you know, straight up, vertical, rather than, you know, skewing it around, because that's of course one thing that can happen. So you want to be careful. Now the next thing is we trace over those lines that we can see that are red and have the transfer thing. Also, if you rub it a little bit, nothing really happens on the paper. It's still clean, so you don't have to worry too much. And then we just kind of firmly press it. We don't want to burnish the paper or anything. We just want to kind of make some clean strokes. Of course, at this point, it's a good idea to tape it securely. I'm just not doing that all the time, so it's easier to flip around and show you what's actually happening. All right. So now we have this kind of transfer ready. And of course you want to take more time and effort with this when you're working, because naturally it'll be a nicer result at the end. Now, you can also transfer in oil. This just has a little bit of paint there. You want to scrub it kind of thinly and nicely on there. You don't have to follow the lines actually in order to transfer like this. You just want to get a rough kind of coating of oil paint on there. I think this is just ultramarine basically. Usually you would use a raw umber or something that dries quickly, so you can work the next day. This is just what I had on the palette. So yeah, so you can see this leaves nice crisp lines on the transfer drawing as well. So yeah, this is now oil paint, this is now charcoal, and exactly the same thing. So I hope this helps you guys out. You can use this very creatively. You can use this for precision. You know, it's a good tool to have. So my recommendation here is you can do the transfer drawing for your charcoal projects as well as your figure projects. In oil paint, I won't be doing a transfer on the figure drawings because I'm used to working in the dry brush drawing way on those projects, but you can of course work via transfer as well if that feels like a nice process to you. A lot of the ateliers actually do a transfer even for the figures, and in color and everything. They just work on the transfer drawing in graphite and then work on the final painting after they've figured stuff out. All right. Thank you.